It's 7:10 p.m.
Get on up like a sex machine. Get on up. Get on up. Get up. Get on up. Get up. Get on up. Get on up. Get up. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hello, West Alameda. It's after 7 o'clock. It's time to give a shout out. Thank you to all the frontline and the essential workers, to the doctors, the nurses, the longshoremen, the bus drivers, the truck drivers, the farm workers, those who work in the stores, those who work in the restaurants, the postal employees, the teachers, the counselors, the parents, the students. So please, if you can hear my voice, would you clap your hands, bang your pots and pans, honk your horns, shout, make some noise!
Woo! All right, frontline workers. Woo-hoo!
Yeah! Frontline workers, thank you! We appreciate you! What's going on? What's going on, Facebook? How's everybody doing today? So, get over here and sit down. So, as always, don't look at my hair. Okay, yes, I know I need a haircut. Hey, Paulette, what's going on with you? So, ask everybody to please keep in your prayers and your thoughts all those who have died all over the world. I believe it's over 2 million throughout the world. And here in the United States, I believe it's over 460,000. Yeah, so please say prayers or keep them in your thoughts, all those who have died, those are victims of COVID-19. And also ask all of you to keep in your prayers and your thoughts all those who have tested positive for COVID-19 and people who are in the hospital and either in quarantine or in the hospital for COVID. And also for people who are in the hospital for non-COVID related illness and problems or issues. You know, a lot of people going through a lot of emotional and mental problems right now because of COVID. And so, you know, ask all of you to keep them in your thoughts, keep them in your prayers. And so, what am I doing tonight? Tonight, I want to say their names. And tonight, the people whose names I am calling out is Walter Scott. Walter Scott was killed on April the 4th, 2015. And he was killed by Michael Sager, Charleston, South Carolina police. So I guess you want to know what the crime was. Believe it or not, the crime was almost identical to what happened to Sandra Bland. His crime was that he had a broken tail light.
Walter was actually on his way to the auto supply store to go get a tail light. Hey, grandbaby.
Hi.
Come over here and sit down with me for a minute. Say hello to all the people.
Hello.
Hey, Facebook.
Hi.
This is my grandbaby. Isn't she beautiful? This is my grandbaby. Thank you, grandbaby. Okay. You want to say a shout out to anybody?
I'm thinking about my mom because on the day I get dropped off. That's her birthday.
Okay, well, good. Happy birthday to your mom, okay? All right, baby. Let's go. Let me go finish doing this. All right. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
So, now, the thing with Walter Scott served in the United States Coast Guard. He was a veteran. And the cop that pulled him over, Michael Sager, he was also a Coast Guard veteran. And I think it's just a little ironic that here you have two veterans and two people who both served in the Coast Guard, and they were involved in this whole situation. So when he was pulled over for a broken tail light, okay, for some reason, and I'm not sure, again, I do everything off of, Google. Thank you. I do everything off of Google. And for some reason, Michael got into it with Walter Scott, and Walter Scott took off running. Walter Scott was actually in the car with another person. The other person stayed in the car. The cop, Michael, took off running after Walter, chased him down into a parking lot, and at the parking lot, they started tussling and fighting over Michael Sager's taser gun. Michael shot Walter Scott with the taser gun. Evidently didn't have any kind of effect because Walter Scott got up and took off running, and Michael chased after him and shot him. He fired 8 rounds from a Glock 21. He hit Walter in the back 5 times in the back. Shot at him 8 times, got him 5 times in the back. Now, Michael Sager reported in his report that he felt threatened and that Walter Scott had grabbed his taser. Now, ordinarily, all that would have been a dead black man, the word of a dead black man, the word of a white cop, and everybody would have believed the white cop. But it happened that there was an eyewitness on the other side of the fence, and some of you have probably seen this video. The video was taken by Fidel Santana, and he recorded the video on his cell phone, and he watched the cop shoot Walter Scott in the back. And then he watched the cop run up to Walter Scott, yelling at him, and then handcuffed Walter Scott behind his back. And then Michael Sager went back. Remember I told you they had a fight in the parking lot? He went back to the parking lot of the fight, picked up an object. All this is on the video. See, the cop didn't see Santana with the video, with the cell phone. He didn't see him. The cop came back with the object and dropped it on the ground over there next to Walter Scott. Now, you draw your own conclusions. To me, it sounds like that possibly was the taser, because Michael Sager made his report saying that Walter Scott had grabbed his taser. And since he grabbed his taser and was running away with the taser, and Michael Sager was in fear of his life, he had to be able to prove that he was in fear of his life, so why he shot Walter Scott in the back 5 times, but there wasn't no weapon on Walter Scott, so he conveniently the taser ended up next to Walter Scott's body. Okay? There's a difference to this story because, all the other stories we talk about, the cops always get away with it. Well, this one, he didn't get away with it. Michael Sager was arrested on April 7th, 2015. He was charged with murder. And he was charged with a whole bunch of crimes, but for a plea bargain, he ended up pleading guilty to a federal charge on May the 7th, 2017. And what the charge was, deprivation of the rights under color of law. So basically, he deprived Walter Scott of his civil rights. Vicky! What's up, Vicky? How you doing, man? Good to see you on here. So he deprived him of his civil rights. And I think that the defense attorney and Michael Sager and everybody connected with that side of the law thought he was going to get some little slap on the hand. No, he ended up getting sentenced to 20 years. 20 years. So for once, a cop actually was held accountable. And, one of the things I'm always talking about is that I want the police to be held accountable. So somebody's finally held accountable. Now, is he going to get the gas chamber, the electric chair? Is he going to get hung? No, evidently not. And then they put him in Inglewood Federal Correction Institution in the state of Colorado. Now, I don't know if y'all know, when you look this up on Google, Inglewood is considered a country club for the federal prisons. They evidently, it's a country club. They got all kind of amenities at this country club. It's not like a prison. Not like a prison. In fact, the former governor of Illinois, Jamagian or something like the bull, I don't know how to say his name, but he's in prison there, unless Trump got him out. And, who else is in there? The Subway guy. Remember the fat Subway guy? Showing how much weight he lost? Remember him? He's up there in that prison. He got busted on pornography and stuff. So he's up in there. So it's basically a prison for, like that. So anyway, that's what happened with Michael Sager. And the Walter Scott family was paid $6.5 million. I don't know if you noticed something, that all these stories that we're talking about, they always end up paying money. They always end up paying money. Even when the cops ain't found guilty. Now, in this case, the cop was actually found guilty, but the city of Charleston, South Carolina, had to pay $6.5 million. What's up, Janice? Had to pay $6.5 million to the estate of Walter Scott. So, say their name, Walter Scott. Now, here's another one. This one also happened in South Carolina, and I'm sure some of y'all heard about this. Senator Clementa C. Pinckney, United States Senate, June 17th, 2015. He was murdered at Mother Emanuel AME Church. It was the oldest black church in Charleston, South Carolina. That church was there, and actually the segregationists burned it down after in the 1800s because they said that the conspiracy about the Denmark-Vesey conspiracy was formulated or organized at the church, so they burned it down. But it was built back up. So at this church. So for those of you who don't know, evidently they were having Bible study. Good Christians having Bible study, and I'm a Christian. And another Christian came into the church, a white Christian. His name was Dylan Roof, 21 years old. And being the kind of people that we are, we welcomed him into our church. And being the kind of Christian that Dylan is, he sat down in the church and prayed with all the black members of Mother Emanuel AME Church. He sat in there for an hour and prayed with them. And at the end of Bible study and everything else, then they all stood up and they were praying. And old Dylan got up and took his automatic weapon and killed 9 people, including Senator Pinckney and 8 other people from the church. Now, what's even worse than that, well, no, I'm not going to say worse, was messed up, and this is where that white privilege comes in that we always talk about. When the police went to arrest Dylan, they didn't even pull their guns out on him. They had their guns in their holster. They helped him get out of the car. How many times do we see black people being helped out of the car? How many times do we see police put their guns in their holster when they're arresting a black person, not for committing murder, but for driving with a broken tail light, or any other, or selling cigarettes on the street, or for whatever other things they can come up with? They don't put their guns up, and they don't help you out of the police car. They helped him out of the police car. And this was the worst part to me. It caused a lot of outrage. They took Dylan to Burger King and bought him some hamburgers at Burger King. Now, I got to let y'all know, when I was a youngster, I used to get arrested a lot because I was in the Black Panthers and stuff. And I used to get arrested like every 3 months, every 4 months. It was just like the police was always messing with me, always taking me to jail. And I can tell you, there's not one damn time the police ever took me to Burger King, Jack in the Box, McDonald's, or anywhere to go get me something to eat. And I didn't commit no capital crime or murder. But this 21-year-old boy who loved Confederate flags and was trying to start a race war, he got to go to Burger King. Anyway, on January 10th, 2017, old Dylan was sentenced to death. And he is currently waiting execution. So, that's 2 cases. There's 2 cases where both of these cases happened in South Carolina. Both of them happened in 2015. One was a United States senator at church, praying, doing Bible study. It was murdered by a white Christian terrorist. I said white Christian terrorist because, you know, whenever the Muslims do something, they're always referred to by their religion, Muslim terrorists. So if, you know, call Dylan what he is a white Christian terrorist. Terrorist. Christian. Because he went in there and he was praying. So anyway, I say that is like, we got a cop that's in jail for 20 years, Michael Sager, and we got Dylan Roof, who is waiting execution. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. We'll see what happens. So I just want to say their names. And as always, I do say the name of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. These are names we've always heard, and these are names that we're familiar with, and we're familiar with their stories. I'm sure most of you are familiar with Senator Pinckney. Some of you probably heard of Walter Scott, but I'm going through my list all during the month of February and maybe even longer, just to give you a little background on people who have been murdered by either the police or the Ku Klux Klan or Confederate sympathizers or neo-Nazis, racists, fascists, whatever you want to call them. Trump supporters. Okay? So that's what I'm doing. Here's my shout out. I'll say their names. Mabuhay, Ashe, Amandla, Hokahe, Que Viva, Namaste, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, wa alaikum assalam. Hey, grandbaby, love you. So, can we say Wakanda forever? Mm-hmm. Wakanda forever. Yeah. So, just want to give that shout out to all of them. And I did go out today. I wore my mask. So every time I go out, I wear a mask. I actually had a good day. I hung out with my brother. And they got this thing on YouTube. This is a dance called Jerusalem. It's pretty good. My grandbaby's trying to teach me how to dance it. Right, grandbaby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I know how to dance it pretty good now.
Yeah, I'm trying, grandbaby. I'm trying. You know, Lola can dance good. But thank you for teaching me.
Mm-hmm. I'll teach you some more dances as well today.
Oh, thank you. You're so sweet. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all. Everybody.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day is next week, honey.
Yes. You don't do it next week. You should say
Oh, I won't
week.
see you next week, so I'll say it to you this week, right? Mm-hmm. All right, grandbaby. Your braids look so nice. They're so pretty. All right, y'all. I'm going to go. I hope everybody, like I said, stay safe, stay strong. Oh, that movie on Netflix, 13th Amendment. If you get a chance, look at that movie. It's a really good movie. It's a documentary, the 13th Amendment, and I think it's something that we all should be looking at and checking out. I know grandbaby Lola needs a haircut.
No.
Huh?
Paula can cut your hair.
I don't know about all that.
Oh, she
I
can.
don't know about all that. But I
She
love
can
you.
braid your hair.
No.
No.
I don't want my hair braided. My braid. I don't want my hair braided. Yes, my hair hurts. All right, y'all. Everybody stay safe. Stay strong. Mabuhay.
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 All right, y'all. We out of here. Love y'all. Everybody, please wear a mask. Peace.